can't see it.
Yes, sensei.
Do that. It's a little easier that way. Let's check the audio.
Silent.
I'll get going on my phone.
Test 1 2 test 1 2.
I think we're good.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're good.
Hello, my
we're
name.
golden.
Hello. Whatever. I don't know.
I don't know what my name is, man. I just woke up here.
It does sound like you just woke up.
Bring me to life.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me.
What a great song.
This is your intro. That song blaring.
It's a thing.
Well, I mean,
This is a thing.
I think our video
I
would
gotta
get
get
like
cracking on
copyright
music.
stricken if we did that, unfortunately. Doesn't sound like we're making money off of these anyways, so like who cares?
Wait, we're not?
Wait, you guys are getting
Yeah,
bait?
we're not. We're not.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
What a terrible movie that is.
I don't mind it.
God damn it.
I don't mind it.
It's not good. Stop.
It's okay.
I.
It has its
It's like
moments.
better than everything else.
No.
Yeah, Star Wars Who? It's all about the ringer. I can't believe I said that. I'm so sorry, guys.
I think we need a
Wow.
hard reset after that one.
When the fuck did we get it? I don't want ice cream.
Didn't you say you were
We
gonna
had
get
ice
ice cream
cream cake
tonight, Kevin?
Heavenly,
I did say that.
heavenly
Yeah,
hash.
it's
Maybe
waiting for me. I got some raspberries to throw on it too. This is now the ice cream podcast. Welcome.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some raspberries and some
Raspberries.
blueberries on that bad boy.
You might be
and-
the only person I've ever met that taints ice cream like that. Wow.
Wow,
What do you
tainted?
mean?
Ex-
And
It's
I
so
wish
much better
I
with
wish I was
fruit.
joking.
Are you kidding
No,
me?
no, okay.
It's
We
like
are now
adding
the official-
strawberries.
Okay, we are the official. What's wrong with everybody else but me with food? Why does everybody put ketchup on their craft dinner? What is wrong with you
Okay.
people?
I don't do it every time, but just to mix things up, it's a good
I
time.
tried.
It's
And you know what?
good.
To my credit, I tried it. When did we have it? It was like last week or 2 weeks ago. I tried it. No. You know what? If you have it like cheese like that on like grilled cheese, that's fine. Ketchup and grilled cheese is great. But I don't like having ketchup on pasta. So maybe that's where my mind stops that.
The only ketchup I ever have on pasta would be KD, though. I don't put it on any other kind of pasta.
Yeah, you got to get the right ratio down. If there's too much ketchup and it overpowers it, it doesn't taste great. But if you don't have enough, then it's just regular KD. You got to get that sweet zone. And it's different for everyone.
I trust Renee's judgment with that, and clearly I immediately lost her trust after that. So
Maybe you just have terrible
know.
taste buds, man.
no, they're pretty great. All right, they're pretty great.
Speaking of pretty great, welcome to Follow My Tracers. That was a great transition.
That was pretty great.
That was
Ooh.
awesome.
Pretty great.
Nice. All right. Well, we're gonna end it here. That's the best part of the show. So thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Harley,
Alright,
make
some
us
ice
home.
cream.
Yeah. And plug the socials. Episode 13.
No, Harley, don't. Or Kevin,
you-
don't ruin
yeah,
the ice cream.
If you enjoyed these 2
Yeah.
minutes,
I'm going to send you a picture
please
of it.
subscribe.
N64 guy, if you're out there, thank you for subscribing.
Oh yeah, here I'll replay the little thing because he did it offline, so that should pop up for everyone. There we go. Thank you for subscribing, man. Much appreciated. We're close to our first goal of 20 subs. Doesn't sound like much, but it means a lot to us. So for everyone else who's
N64 is this big console.
great console.
Oh yeah.
Great console. But everyone else who's watching, if you haven't subbed yet, we would appreciate it. This is episode 13. We're live on YouTube, of course. I'm one of your hosts, Figure9, aka Tony. Today I'm joined by Jim, aka Power Grudge. What's going on, man?
Nothing. Just chilling like a villain with 3 of my closest friends, so it's very nice.
Aw, shucks. Also joined by Harley. What's going on, man?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. And, of course,
Oh,
we
I
have our
didn't ask
special
how he was
guest here, Falling Cactus, aka Kevin, aka Kevbot, who is a past guest. What's going on, man?
AKA
Hi,
Supperfish.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm special, but I just sort of show up and they feed me. So
Well, your bus is shorter than everyone else's, so you're special to me, Kevin.
you're a little trooper.
I know. We're live.
I wouldn't even fit in the short bus.
Yeah, you are tall. I'll give you that.
See?
Giraffe.
You're the tallest in this
Anyway.
party for sure. You guys are all tall. I'm short.
I thought I was tall, and then I met Kevin, and I met Mike, and now I'm the short, tall
Mike's
guy at like
taller.
6'4". That's embarrassing. That's
I think
embarrassing.
you're still taller than Harley, right? Harley, you're like
Yep.
6 foot, right?
I think I'm 6'1" maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I'm the tall, short guy. How does that? What do you think that feels like? Okay. Not even short. You guys are all just giants. So I guess we'll start off with what we've been playing. Jim, what have you been playing this last week?
Nothing really. My big thing for this week was just getting together my big list of games that I have to beat. So I took a hard look at everything I owned on Xbox. PC, not so much because it's still fairly fresh. So I don't really own a whole lot on PC, but with Xbox anyway, I decided what was important, what I needed to beat, and I whittled it down to about 60 games out of the
Oh.
300 something apparently
God.
I own. So, no,
What?
I know that sounds like a
Hold
lot, and
on.
then you realize how much I have
60
on there. So.
games?
Oh, does that include Game
Well,
Pass?
there's a few Game Pass games on this, so I'll say about like 50 games. But anyway, those are my priorities. I'm not going to get them done anytime soon, but those are the games I've deemed important to actually like put the effort to try and beat all of them. But in terms of what I've actually been playing on Xbox, it's really I started playing Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor because I've owned that game since it came out, and I haven't beaten it. So I was like, well, I'm watching the Hobbit movies and I'm watching Lord of the Rings kind of all right now. So I'm like, well, since I've been, in Middle Earth, I guess you could say theoretically, like I might as well just kind of go with this train that's rolling and just start to do that stuff. So I've been doing that. We've been playing a bit of Devour, very spooky game that is like the surprise hit of 2021 so far. But other than that, I haven't. Well, I mean, I started the medium. I think I might have said that last week. I can't remember when I started, but I haven't played it since then. But yeah, that's pretty much just been it. It's just Warzone. Played some Fortnite, grinding the battle pass out with you the other night, Tony, and Middle Earth. That's really it. Nothing really exciting. Next week will be exciting, though. I'll tell you that.
What's next week?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Harley, what about you? What have you
Taking
been
it one day at a time.
Exactly.
You got 60 games. It could be anything.
Yeah. Hey, see, someone's on
One
my
game
side.
a week.
That's entirely possible if I really dedicate myself. But let's move on. Nothing but me.
Harley?
Same old from over here. Just Call of Duty, grinding the skins.
You're
I'm
almost
so
done, right?
close, man. I got two weapons left, and I can just like rest easy and play other games.
So you're never gonna go back once you're done getting all the skins?
To Cold War multiplayer, probably not, unless some like really good gun comes out and I need to level it. Other than that, no. After I'm done the grind, I'm gonna do campaign, and then I'm gonna go play another game. I'm
Make
gonna
good
play
choice.
like
Campaign
Baldur's
that game's
Gate
good.
or something else
Yeah.
for one. But I did
guess,
play Devour.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was really fun. We also played a little bit of Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we
That
did
was cool
too.
too. That was fun. It's a good change of pace,
Yeah.
which I don't mind. I don't mind
I
right
really
now.
look forward to those nights.
Yeah. Oh, we also
We played tabletop as well.
yeah, we played tabletop. We played Red Dragon Inn. I mean,
We played Cry
I
of
played
Fear.
I played for like 40 minutes and then got knocked out.
Every time you get knocked out first, tragedy.
Yep. I had fun though. For what I did play, I had fun. So
You also have
that's
the
me.
clout of being the only one that actually physically owns it, so you have that above everybody else too.
It's nice. I got it all
Proud of you.
sleeved up too.
Ooh.
Mint. But yeah. Let's kick it off to guest Kevin. What have you been playing?
Mostly just COD with you guys, or maybe a bit of Elite, but
Ooh.
not a lot. Disappointed that Odyssey got delayed for consoles to like the fall, but well,
Oof.
still plenty of game
Oh,
there.
so it got delayed again?
for.
Or is this the first delay?
think this is the first delay. It was supposed to come out winter 2021, and then they delayed it till the spring for PC players, and then
Oh,
delayed it till
yeah.
the fall for console.
Oh,
Which
I
is how
see.
they've kind of done all their updates. PC gets it first, then they kind of test it and balance it, and then they do a big patch for console. But yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Sweet.
And Hyrule Warriors.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Very
This
nice.
is-
Very nice.
that's a game.
Or yeah, wait, what's Age of Calamity? That's it, the newer one.
Hey Jim, you've been playing a good amount of that too, right? Or at least like you were, I remember.
I've been grinding it. I haven't done any story stuff, but I've been grinding out like the side, like the optional battles anyway. Because I kind of left them all for a while, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna try and get as much completion percentage of this game as I can. So before I go on, because I'm decently far in the story, but before I go on, I'm gonna get every single one I have unlocked up to this point done, and I mean, there's a lot, so it's kind of a sludge to get through when all you're doing is that stuff. But it's still a fun game. Really fun, actually.
Cool.
It looks awesome too. Like Breath of
Yeah.
the Wild style graphics are really beautiful, and it's nice that they carry that over into this game.
Yeah, it's one of those games that's gonna look good forever just because of the art style. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Super Mario Sunshine to me. Like that game came out 2002, I forget, 2001 or 2002, and like that game still looks good. Obviously, it's not HD, so like a little fuzzy in some places, but the art style is good enough where it's gonna look good forever. Same with Breath of the Wild. The game's gorgeous. I've been playing pretty much the same thing you guys have been playing. So we've been kind of getting into this bit of like a co-op horror survival type mood, which is
I love it.
different for me because
Personally.
I'm usually like I'm a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to horror movies or horror games or anything like that. But playing it with friends is definitely puts me a bit at ease because at least like we're all talking and laughing and we're all in it together. So I
Suffering
feel
together.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're all suffering together, so I don't feel as bad. So that's been a lot of fun. Cry of Fear was jank as hell, but it was fun for the one night. Devour is terrifying, but I really like playing it a lot. It's fun. Playing a bit of Warzone with you guys, playing a bit more of the medium. I'm really putting only in like a couple hours every now and then at the medium. It's not a super long game, so I'm trying to kind of savor it rather than just plow through it. And that's really about it on my end. Let's get into the reader response, which we're gonna remind everyone that if you're watching here on YouTube, you guys can talk in the chat, and we will respond to you live to the best of our ability. And for anyone who is watching the video afterwards on YouTube, you guys can leave a comment, comment whatever you want, obviously, and we will do our best, sorry, to answer questions on the next episode. And then now we're gonna fuel up with G Fuel, not sponsored, again. So, I'll start off this week. I'm using my second of 3 Bahama Mama trial packs right now. Man, it's so good. I'm getting a tub of this thing when there's another BOGO. Yeah, that's the only time I'm gonna buy G Fuel.
This is Valentine's BOGO, I thought right now.
No,
No
it's buy one get one 60% off, so it's the same as 30% off. It's the same thing. When it's when it's a true BOGO, then the Bahama Mama is at the top of the list for me to get. It's really good. Jim, what about you?
I had a flavor, or I'm having a flavor, I should say too, that I haven't had in quite a while. I've been kind of having all the other 9 tubs other than this one, but I decided today was time to go back to Sour Pixel Potion, which is sour grape. And super jelly that I don't have a normal grape tub because that's kind of one of my favorite ones, just the normal grape. So I'm looking to get that one day, maybe if it's ever. I think they have like Galaxy grape in stock right now as like the grape flavor, but
Yeah, it's like a reskin.
like by the time the next BOGO or whatever happens, I mean, if it's still there, I'd love to get it. So yeah, I'm having Sour Pixel Potion.
Harley, what about you?
I had some rainbow sherbet.
Did you get milk?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, you got to have it in milk. It's
Yeah?
like drinking ice cream. It's like it makes it like number 2 or number 3 flavor for me in milk. Without milk, it's like top 10.
Are you putting it in milk?
Hey, it's one of their milk flavors. They recommend it actually.
They have milk flavors?
Yeah, like
They have like iced
iced
coffee.
pie.
with that.
they have moon pie.
Peach cobbler.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I think that one was recommended. You should, Kevin.
I'd be
Kevin, are you
scared to
filling up
put
with
it in
water
milk
tonight?
because I feel like
Yeah,
it
I
should make
have-
me go number 2. You know?
That's the thing. I have water and we have the like starter pack and we tried a few, but I couldn't get over like the aftertaste. The lead content.
The lead
Oh,
content.
come on, if you're not full of lead, then what are you doing?
I just don't know why there's lead in it.
Look, if you're not killing your semen count, you're doing it wrong. Okay.
We'll need it someday.
They say there's lead in it because it's from the ground in which they grow the
Yeah.
the fruit. So
Get the
it's
lead out.
natural. It's natural lead. It's just naturally like in the dirt.
Oh.
That's what they say.
That's what
Yeah,
they
they
said
don't-
in
they
ancient
don't, like,
Rome
take
with
a
their
pencil.
aqueducts. Look at them.
Oh, yeah, they're gone. They didn't
Yeah,
last.
exactly. That empire fell
All because of the water troughs.
all because of Bogo.
Bogo. We'll be like on our deathbeds, like, and they'll be like, "Wow, you have a lot of lead in your liver," or something like that.
Wow.
And we'll be like, "Bogo."
The new dub
Tell
just
my
came out.
son.
Tell G Fuel I love them.
I do love G Fuel, and G Fuel. I know that we just
Tell
kind of
my
made fun of you because of the lead, but we would still love to be sponsored at some point. Anyways,
Hey, we don't want to get sponsored by Mixed. We'll tell you that much. We don't want
we,
any of that
we
stuff.
shouldn't be throwing brands under the bus. Just
You're true bloods.
Hey,
Oh, man.
how about this? The opinions of Power Grudge is not representative of the whole of Follow My Tracers. So here's me talking right to Mixed. I don't like your product. I'm sorry. Everybody else loves it. I
don't
clearly
like your
don't like
product.
it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's great.
They do offer, you can just sign up and be like a sponsor or get sponsored by them just by signing up. You can get a 10% discount code, but it's not worth it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when
We
you
won't
can
make
just
any
like
money
sign
off
up
that.
to like become like a sponsor or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it
When
should
you
be like
email
a
Lucasfilm
reward, not
and
like a
don't get a
please
response,
let
that's
us
the
sponsor
problem.
you thing. Like
Yeah.
anyways.
They have to come begging to me. I like that.
You
Exactly.
like
do
that
that though,
feeling.
you can say you're an influencer.
Yeah, but
That
then
on
we have
the
to
old
drink
resume.
Hey,
mixed.
You know who N64 guy follows? Us. You know who else he follows? Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's much more popular than us, but we're in the same company.
What do you mean he followed? Did you look at who he followed?
No, you can't.
Okay, I
But
was
we
gonna
love
say,
you,
that's kind of
N64
creepy.
guy. If you're listening, N64 guy, thank you very much.
He's gonna unsubscribe. We're gonna go down a
Oh.
number.
Hopefully you don't like mixed. I'm so sorry if you do.
He's like the biggest mixed fan out there.
Hopefully you
Yeah.
like Mel Gibson.
Let's be realistic here. Nobody likes Ma energy. Nobody.
Okay, we're moving on from this topic.
Yes, please.
We're going down a rabbit hole. So before we get into the news, we got a lot of Halo Infinite news actually this week, so we're gonna get into Infinite Watch.
Everyone who's taking shots at home, this is your first shot.
Yeah, and if you've been following Follow My Tracers, you know that we talk about Halo Infinite literally every episode, even if there's not much news, because I dig something up. But this time there was actually news, so I'm not grasping at straws here. So there was a 20-minute developer interview with the Sandbox team lead that was basically like answering a bunch of questions asked on Twitter 2343 after their December Infinite update. So a couple interesting tidbits came out of this. Nothing like no major news, I would say, but I mean when you put them all together, it is kind of major. So to start, vehicles will be getting an overhaul in terms of how they're damaged, which is really cool. So instead of one solid health bar, think like a Warthog in Halo 3 or anything like that. You just shoot it enough and eventually it blows up. There's no real other damage to it. In Infinite, it's actually dynamic. So vehicles can be damaged in different ways based on where they take damage. So, and this was actually shown in the gameplay reveal in the summer. When Chief was driving the Warthog and there was a suicide grunt and he kind of blew up and the wheel popped off. So this is where this question kind of came from, and they did confirm, yes, vehicles take dynamic damage, so you can shoot the wheels off of Warthogs, maybe you can shoot the turret off of it. They did specifically mention like taking the wing off a Banshee, so then it only has one wing, and like doing stuff like that. So that's really exciting to me that these vehicles are going to be like dynamically damaged now. Personally, I'm very excited about that. What do you guys think about that? Anyone
That was
jump
my
in?
favorite piece of info from that whole video.
Yeah.
It's just cool because like Halo, there's a large variety of vehicles and like they all kind of, they're intricate and they work on their own different ways. So it's just kind of cool that, you'll be able to shoot out the windshield potentially or shoot off a wheel or even just like, I don't know, like the possibilities are endless if you kind of have a range of damage like that. And, every vehicle's different. So everything's going to be like, I don't know, super cool and different and strategic and how to take it down, which is kind of cool. Not like it wasn't before, but now more so it adds that extra layer, which I really like.
Yeah, it's super cool. Harley, Kevin, any thoughts?
I'll let Kevin speak.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I know that they kind of dabbled in it a bit in Halo Reach, where you could like destroy Scorpion turrets, like the main cannon, and Wraith
Oh, I
cannons.
forgot about that. Yeah, you totally could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
wow, I
cool
forgot
that they're
about that.
bringing that back and then making it more of a strategic thing, because even in other past games like Banshee Wings would show damage and kind of pop off, but now like they were saying it might actually affect the flight path and they'll be kind of pulling in the direction that the wing falls off. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how that changes, and then also being able to grapple hook to hijack a or skyjack a Banshee. That sounds super cool.
Yeah, that was my next piece here. Is that players can use the grapple hook to skyjack a Banshee. So Banshee's flying over you, you look up at it, grapple hook it, you fly up to it, punch the guy out of it, and it's yours. Like, that's so cool to me. There was a lot of cool pieces of info about the grapple hook. They also said that you could use the grapple hook to kind of like pick up weapons. So like if you see a rocket launcher leaned up against a wall, or there's a sniper rifle on the ground, you can grapple hook the weapon and pull it towards you. Kind of similar to how Chief grapple hooked the fusion coil in the demo and pulled it to him. So the grapple hook is looking really, really dynamic, and I feel like we're only scratching the surface of the kind of things you actually can do with it. Harley, you had that really good idea when we were talking about this, that maybe you could like grapple hook like a Banshee, and instead of going up to it, just like hang off of it. Almost like
That'd be cool. Yeah.
what's that game called? Just Cause?
Just Cause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost like that. So
Have a squad just like trailing on
right?
grapples and then just like hot dropping them in. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, like what if you could do that, man? Like, oh, that sounds so cool. So cool. As well, they did confirm that both old and new weapons, like brand new weapons, will be coming to the game post launch. So whatever's there at launch, whatever. But like they did kind of mention like, hey, maybe the classic Halo CE Magnum will come to the game post launch in maybe like a kind of big team mode or something like that, or the classic shotgun or something like that. So and then also brand new weapons. So they'll be introducing new weapons after the game comes out, which is interesting as well. And in that breath, they actually did this was kind of like said offhand, but they did confirm that there's a brand new shotgun. It's not the Bulldog that they showed us, which is kind of this low power, fast firing shotgun. It's kind of taking the role of the traditional kind of just like Halo shotgun. We don't have confirmation if that traditional Halo shotgun's even in the game at this point, but there is a brand new shotgun kind of filling that standard shotgun role, which is interesting, and we'll see how that looks and plays. And lastly, they did kind of confirm that the meta of weapons will evolve over time as well. Think Warzone. Hopefully not as shitty as Warzone, though, where guns just become completely broken and overused. But they kind of did mention that they'll be doing some tweaking over time to change things up if they notice that there are certain weapons that are too powerful or not powerful enough. They notice that, hey, nobody's using this new shotgun, maybe we should increase the damage a little bit. Or, hey, the Needler is, nobody's using the Needler, it's taking way too long to super combine to explode, so maybe make it take like 3 less needles to explode or something. So they'll be doing that kind of stuff over time, and they did also kind of mention that won't affect the campaign meta necessarily. So multiplayer and campaign are kind of two different ecosystems. If something's broken in multiplayer but it kind of feels okay in campaign for the use, then it doesn't necessarily have to affect both. So I thought that was interesting as well. Lots of Halo Infinite news there. I'm hoping that they do more of these. I think they said they were going to do more of these. So it's kind of cool that they let the community just kind of ask questions. I'm sure there was lots of other questions there that like people asked and they just didn't answer because they didn't want to, but I'll be looking out for it for sure the next time they ask questions, and maybe I'll ask a couple questions myself. Any final thoughts on Infinite, boys?
I want to play it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now too.
Yeah.
If another developer like nonchalantly says that he's played it multiple times already, I'm gonna break my phone. Like, just
Yeah,
stop.
man. Oh,
I get it.
the community
I
manager
get
was
it.
flexing, bro. He was like, "Oh yeah, like that was really fun when I played that last week. Oh yeah, that was great. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm gonna try that later." Fuck off, man. Like, we get it.
Yeah,
You're playing the game.
and especially since like what's his face said he's played through the campaign twice. It's like, so, okay, so the campaign's like content complete. It seems like all
Joseph
these.
Staten. Yeah.
Thank you. And now it seems like a lot of these extra things that they've been tweaking are kind of, at least playable. Like by now, it's like, come on, like. But you know what? In the end, I'm excited for any info I can get, and I think this is a great way to kind of digest it. Is just having the community kind of ask questions about it, which I think is cool, especially since there's no news about a beta yet, and there's no concrete release date yet. So yeah, I'm up for any info, big or small. So why not?
Yeah, I'm super excited to play this. Obviously, if you can't tell, Dom in
Like
chat
baby bird.
says, "I can't wait to make Halo weapon guides." Yeah, man, it's gonna be a whole thing. We'll see what happens with it down the line. I mean, the release date's it's got to be November 15th. Like that's the 20th anniversary of Combat Evolved. It's got to be, unless like they put it out in September or something random. But like, it's got to be. It's got to be November 15th. That date makes the most sense. Hopefully a beta. Hopefully some beta news soon. They did say they were going to do a beta, I should say. So hopefully we'll get that news soon. This is definitely a cool way to get info. Since they did kind of say the marketing machine, like big gameplay reveals and trailers, probably won't happen until late spring, early summer, kind of like E3 time. So this is a kind of cool way to give the community some details. And I was kind of saying this to you, Kevin, through text, but like the more they kind of talk about this game, the more I think this game is going to be way bigger than we all think it is. Like they've been working on it for 5 years, brand new engine. They've taken all of these learnings from the shitty launch of MCC and the disappointment that was Halo 5 for the most part. I think this thing is going to be massive. I'm really excited. Like the more they talk about it, the more it's like an onion. They just keep peeling back more layers, you know? It's crazy. But let's get on to some news and current events. Don't worry, everyone. I'm going to talk way more Halo. But before we do that, Jim, let's start with you. You got some Anthem news, right?
So Anthem kind of had a rocky start. One of the more famous, it's similar to Cyberpunk where it's hyped up a lot, not to the extent of Cyberpunk, granted, but it was quite hyped up and it was looking promising from the trailers. And then it's sort of, released to become a garage fire. But they've been kind of working to revamp Anthem, kind of dubbed Anthem 2.0. I think they announced it last year or the year before. I can't remember, but supposedly, EA this week is kind of reevaluating what it is right now, this Anthem 2.0, and they're going to decide whether or not they're going to scrap it altogether or they're going to try to kind of reverse the disappointing launch that it had. So the team working on the revamped Anthem, this is via GameSpot, is currently 30 people or about 30 people, but supposedly BioWare is needing closer to 90 in order to revamp the original gameplay, add new content, finish reworking stuff, etc. So EA has to decide whether to invest these time and or resources. And even if this does happen or they do scrap it, at least BioWare has other stuff going out this year. But I don't know about you guys, but when I first kind of saw everything about Anthem when it was first being announced, I kind of wanted to try Anthem.
I
Thank
want
God
to try it too.
it's free on Game Pass right now with EA Play and all that. But yeah, when Anthem first came out, I was super intrigued because it just looked like a multiplayer Mass Effect to me. But
Yeah, it looked really cool.
whatever happened happened. But Kevin, let's start with you because I don't think I've ever asked you about Anthem. Did you ever have Anthem on your radar or have any interest in it at all?
Not really. I remember seeing the trailer and they're jumping off of cliffs and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that was similar to that when Breath of the Wild was coming out. So I was just totally focused on Breath of the Wild or other
Fair enough.
games that were coming out. So I've never really been into Mass Effect or anything like that, so it just wasn't an interest to me.
Fair enough. What about you, Tony? Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I did. It's interesting that they've been kind of putting together a plan to see if it's even worth doing like this big revamp for like I think a year now. So they basically just been planning for a year to see if it's even worth working on it anymore. I mean, at this point, like, does anyone really care about Anthem anymore? There can't be that many people. Like, I would rather have these people just work on Mass Effect 4 or Dragon Age.
I mean, Dom in chat looks kind of interested.
He does.
Anthem news,
Yeah.
all caps.
Maybe I just
It is
insulted you.
weird
Sorry,
when you
buddy.
see a game like this get news, especially when like there's so much other stuff going around in the gaming space, stuff with Cyberpunk or all these different Joy-Con lawsuits. But then all of a sudden you hear about, this game that seems like it's just been kind of been in the background being worked on. Like it's kind of, I hate to admit it, but it's kind of exciting hearing about Anthem just because it's still kind of on somebody's mind to report about it. But I think with me, I think I might. Oh wait, Dom in the chat says I played a good portion of it. It was a lot of fun. The gameplay was fun. The gunplay was great, but there wasn't any replayability or content there to keep me coming back. And I had also heard that at some point in the campaign, and Dom, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you had to really grind something where to the point where the game wasn't any fun anymore, in order to progress. Which it's kind of like any other. I don't want to call it an MMO, but games like that, maybe like kind of like Destiny, where you had to grind a little bit, maybe. But this almost gets me kind of see if they cancel Anthem 2.0, would they? Do you think they would keep Anthem like on digital stores? Do you think they would just get rid of it altogether? Because if
That's
they're
how
not thinking it's worth the investment to try and keep it going, why would they put money into keeping it going in the state it is right now, which is apparently the state that nobody likes?
Hmm.
It depends how many people are playing it, I think.
Yeah.
Do developers often just like tear it down like from a store? I think they usually just keep it up just in case.
Yeah, I don't know if you could play Anthem offline. That's the trick. So like if
I think it's
if
an
they
online game.
if
Yeah.
you take down the servers, like say yeah, we're not working on Anthem, servers are down. Like
Anyone
I
who
feel
bought
like,
the game would be
Yeah,
on a play.
that'd be a
pissed.
lawsuit.
yeah, I think they would have to take it off the store at that point because then you could sell a game to somebody that they can't play. So
Yeah, that's all there really is to say about that. Just a little update on Anthem. I guess so. Saying it was reported on the 8th, so they might have come to a decision by now, and it just hasn't been reported yet. But we'll see by next week if Anthem 2.0 will be coming out.
and Dom in chat says looter shooter. Yeah, they made a lot of missions super grindy, which can be fun, but it wasn't an Anthem. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it from what I understand too. There was a ton of controversy and news around Anthem when it first came out for that very reason. People were just like, "Whoa, this game is not deep. Like, what the hell is this?" So
I remember it being on like a deep like sale like a few months after, like like $20 or something.
yeah, they deeply discounted it very very quickly because people
Desperate.
hopped on and then they realized nobody was playing, so then they in a desperate attempt try to get more people to play. The trailer looked really cool. I remember the trailer when they jumped off a cliff and they dove into the water.
Gliding.
They were
Yeah,
like dove
like,
into the water
that
and there
stuff
was
all
stuff
looked
underwater
awesome.
and then they came up out of the water and there was a boss they were fighting. Like the trailer looked really cool and that game is gorgeous, but yeah, maybe just cut your losses. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, more Anthem news to come probably next week. Hopefully next week, anyways. Harley, before we get to you, because I know you only have a couple pieces, and one of them's a kind of a bigger piece we want to talk about with Warzone. I'm going to go over one of my pieces, and that is that the PS5 controller, the DualSense, has drift, like Joy-Con drift, but it's the DualSense drift.
Oh.
So we
Oh,
all
I didn't
know
hear
how
about that.
big of a deal the Joy-Con drift is on the Switch. Multiple lawsuits. It's been going on forever. Nintendo still hasn't fixed it after all these years. Like, and now the PS5 controller, the DualSense, only a couple months out of launch, also has the same drift issue. It's being reported. So that's super concerning. To me, that this is already happening. Hopefully, PlayStation can get on top of this and, number one, offer free repairs to anybody who's experiencing this, but also number two, revamp the whatever issue is causing that and get some new controllers out there on market. But that really sucks to hear. Like, I'd be pretty mad if I bought a brand new PS5 and my controller started to just not work properly. I guess the same with the Joy-Cons and the Switch, though I never really experienced too much Joy-Con drift myself. So that never was a problem for me. But yeah, if this is going to become a big thing, kind of crazy. Jim, Harley, what do you guys think?
Yeah. That's what PS5's what, like 700?
Canadian, yeah. Well, yeah, 629 Canadian plus
Oh,
tax. So,
oh boy.
yeah.
And then like I can't imagine like unboxing your PlayStation 5, getting it all ready, getting into your favorite game, and then seeing like getting that drift. That'd be something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
hopefully,
I'd be
hopefully
pretty
some kind
annoyed.
of fix.
Our one Joy-Con has drift on our Switch, so I can, with the Switch, at least I have 3 other Joy-Cons. Well, one other one I could sub it out for, really. But if I buy a PS5, I'm just getting one controller essentially, especially with, gaming nowadays. There's not a whole lot of reason to
Oh
have
yeah.
like 2 controllers. So if my one controller is doing that, I don't want to spend, the price of a game to get a new controller. But the question is, I know you haven't had really any issues with your controller, Tony, but since you and Kevin are the only people I know with new Xbox controllers, are there any issues you guys are experiencing with yours so far? Anything minor?
Kevin, you?
I don't think Carlin's had any issues with hers, but she's only had it for like a month or two at most, and she just plays Seas of Thieves, so I don't think she's had any drift or anything.
Yeah, my controller's it's perfect. No issues, but there is an issue with the actual Series X and the controller kind of working together. That there's a and I've experienced this a couple times myself where the controller will disconnect from the console and it can't reconnect. So you actually need to turn off your console and turn it back on.
That blows.
Yeah, it's only happened to me a few times, and only when I play Call of Duty for some reason. But yeah, it's happened a few times where the controller turns off, and then I can't get it to turn back on. Even if I like plug it into the Xbox, it doesn't recognize it. Like,
Interesting.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
so it's a whole thing, and they know it's an issue. Like they've acknowledged that they're working on a fix, but that's only happened to me a few times. But yeah, that's one issue I've had to be honest. So,
Interesting.
and that's not
No,
an issue
Jim,
with the
you said
controller, but it's with the console really. But go ahead, Harley.
Yeah.
you said you only really need one controller. I just kind of got like a little flashback to like back in the day when you had to get like 4 controllers and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
remember those days where you had to have like a bunch of controllers?
Oh yeah,
I find
man.
it so interesting.
I want
It's
to do a
like now,
topic on it one day,
yeah,
but couch
I completely
co-op
agree. You
and
really
like game with
one.
your friends in the same room is like a total lost art. And I don't think enough people nowadays, I hate to sound like I'm 70, but like a lot of younger kids nowadays that primarily game online, they miss the magic of, nights of playing Lord of the Rings Conquest on the same couch with somebody split screen, or playing Battlefront, like the
Yeah, agree
classic
with him.
Battlefront split screen, or even, to a certain extent, like a Borderlands or Diablo 3. Part of the console version advertising was couch co-op, and that was all the way back in what, 2012, 13, 14, around that time. So I think, yeah,
Or
I don't
Halo
know.
co-op,
I
man.
just, yeah, well, yeah, there's the big one right there, Halo co-op. Like I think that's sort of a lost art. And nowadays, going back to the news at hand, if my one controller is screwing up, you have to pay the price of a full game
Yeah, it's like
essentially,
80, $90.
unless you want to go secondhand and get your controller taken apart, kind of what
Heck,
Dom was saying in the chat. And if you want to get your controller fixed, to them to fix it, but then you don't have a controller, or you can go to a secondhand shop and they can rip it apart, and then your warranty's broken. So like, there's no real winner nowadays if you're only have one controller and it breaks, which sucks. But
Yeah. And another layer on top of this is that, unfortunately, with the PS5, you can connect your PS4 controllers to it, but you can't play PS5 games with a PS4 controller.
really,
Yeah,
that seems backwards.
it's super
Well, I mean, it is
backwards and
backwards,
broken,
but like
and
even more
it's
backwards.
an issue for sure. Because they're like, oh, we want you to use the new controller. It's got all these new features, but like, I don't know, the DualShock 4 would work just fine for a bunch of other games, and if that would probably fix a lot of people's issues, right? If you had a second controller that was maybe you had a PS4 before, or you just want to pick up a second controller, you don't have to spend however much the new DualSense is. You can have a DualShock 4. Like the Series X, I can connect all my Xbox One controllers to, and it works perfectly fine. And you can play whatever you
Yeah,
want.
like that's
It's
amazing.
not an
I think that's
issue.
amazing. So
Yeah, like it's everything's backwards and forwards compatible. I can connect my Series X controller to an Xbox One if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. Like that's the way it should be. And unfortunately, PlayStation's put up this wall for some reason, where they want you to use the new thing, which is all fine and good. But if the new thing doesn't work, or it breaks easily, that's an issue, right? But
Yeah, and I definitely did say Lord of the Rings Conquest, Dom. I played that game religiously when it came out for at least a year or two. So yes, the
Yeah.
lost, forgotten game. Like a lot of Lord of the Rings games, but that's a whole other topic of not being able to buy really Lord of the Rings games except for the Shadow or the Middle Earth games, Shadow of whatever nowadays. But regardless,
yeah, probably a
I haven't
licensing
come out
thing.
with a long time.
that's definitely a license. It's like, like we were talking about a week or two back, the GoldenEye remaster with all the different rights issues of it not getting released. I guess it's the same situation because you got EA, you got Tokens Estate, and then you got whoever holds the license now. I guess Warner Brothers is making the newer games, so they have it now too. So it's a mess. I wish I could buy Battlefield Middle Earth 2 on PC. I would love to have that again.
Maybe one day, man. Who knows? Never say never.
I hope so.
Never say never. Moving on from PS5 though, Harley, let's get into the Elite Dangerous stuff that you guys were talking about before, and I know Kevin, you
Ooh.
can chime in on this one too. So take it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harley.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it'll tie in. So I have over 2,000 Elite Dangerous players have organized against bot abusers. And Kevin, you also chimed in about what was it? It was against.
There on the Xbox version, there have been people hanging around the like starter zone where new players come in, and then they entice these new players by saying like, "Hey, we can show you like really easy ways to make a lot of money," and then they put them on their fleet carriers and essentially just sort of take them and use them as slaves.
Wow.
Oh my god.
And then to my
That's
point,
brutal.
yeah, mine was how people are um uploading scripts to their ships, and so their ship is just controlled by a script carrying out all kinds of different like tasks. So you can just like turn on your computer and then just walk away when you have like a full wing of ships, getting you money or fighting enemies and stuff like that. So the article was saying how 20,000 players made an agreement. It's called apparently the anti-botting agreement, where they've decided to not use bots or at all, or like don't condone that. And yeah, so they were talking with the developers about like possible ways to even get rid of that sort of stuff, like get rid of bots and such. And they were talking about even maybe like mass bans and stuff like that.
Yeah, the banning kind of ties into the slavery ring that these people have started.
That blows my
So
mind.
it started out because one of the slaves mentioned to like another. There's like a bunch of different factions and
So
Discord groups.
One of the
'cause it's such a huge
slaves.
game, and
What are we talking about? Oh, man.
Wow.
One of the
They-
new
what,
players.
what
That's
year
what-
is this?
that's what the people who harvested these new players called them. There was an interview on YouTube with some people, and like the two ringleaders of this faction literally called them slaves instead of like noobs or new players or new recruits or something normal. No, they
Oh,
called them
oh boy.
slaves.
That's brutal. That's such a harsh
they'd
word
get
to
them-
use too. Oh my god.
Jesus.
They'd get them to like mine resources way out of like normal like space. They called the bubble. And they would give them like a 6% cut of whatever they were mining and then just pocket the rest. And so eventually they mentioned to another group called the Fuel Rats saying, "Hey, is this the game? Because this really sucks." And then it started this huge flame war against these slavers. And the interview that I heard was actually really interesting because it was in two parts. The first part was before these guys had been banned by Frontier Developments. Second part was like when they were banned and they were just essentially swearing up and down how stupid it is that they were banned. Which I don't know. I'm glad that they got banned, but I can see their argument because they were saying that Frontier really wants it to be like an inclusive experience and the player being able to like choose what they want to be. And the slavers were saying, well, we wanted to be slavers, and you took that from us. But like, also, if you take advantage of new players, you're ruining the like
Yeah.
new people. So then your game dies eventually. Because I don't know, if that happened to me right out the gate, I wouldn't play it again.
I mean, I don't want to play it right now based on what you guys are saying. So.
You're new. Why don't you just leave?
It's like a part-time job. Well,
I don't
so
understand.
they would get them a ship build, so that it would be
Okay.
mining oriented, but it wouldn't have like it would have like the worst kind of frame shift drive, which is what you use to jump between systems.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
how
they
the
jump them to somewhere where each system's like 20 light years away, so they couldn't leave the system. And there is a way of self-destructing your ship if you want to do that at any time in the game, but I don't know, new players maybe they don't know that or they feel invested.
Oh,
They don't want to make
that
their new
sucks.
like friends. They think they're friends like angry
Oh,
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
They're probably just like, oh, we're just role playing. Mm,
Well,
that
and
moment.
then the people who found out about these slavers, it got a lot of people who were kind of done with the game and waiting for the new expansion to come out. They were like logging on and saying, "Okay, where are these guys? Let's take
Oh,
them out." Like then it turned into like a faction war kind of thing that was starting, but FDev banned these people who were starting it, so that's all kind of fallen through. But yeah,
mm,
crazy people.
crazy things.
Crazy game. The more you guys talk about this game, the more it blows my mind.
It's just a
It's
part-time
a
job.
it's
Yeah.
a fun game though.
It's a part. It's a
That's a
part-time
fun
Yeah.
job.
That's what it is. Could be
It's
full time.
so in depth, it's ridiculous. Like they didn't need to do that, but I'm glad that they did.
Crazy. Moving on from Elite Dangerous. I got a bunch of other Halo news before I get into that. Jim, Ubisoft Star Wars game. Some stuff happening there, right?
So back in January, when Lucasfilm Games was first kind of announced or shown, right away, Ubisoft said, "Oh, Massive Games is making a new Star Wars games or Massive Studio, whatever they're called." So there's no real work that's been done that's substantial. It's in the very early stage of development right now, but this had caused an influx of people applying to work on this game. So this was during a call. This was discussed, and I believe it's not their CEO, but CEO. I can't pronounce his name. He says the game's in early development. This is from the same developers of The Division, apparently, and pretty well. He had this big fluff statement that's just saying, we're working with a new engine. It's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be brand new. We're so stoked. Then he said, on Lucasfilm, we can say we're in the very early stage of development on the Star Wars game. To answer your question about the benefit from that in terms of hiring, yes, we see lots of people wanting to participate in this adventure, and it's a very good thing. So just more excitement in the Star Wars community and Star Wars game community of just new IPs and lots of people applying to be able to work on this game. So that's kind of exciting that there seems to be a lot of interest on that side of the industry for this game. So yeah, that's all there was to it.
Makes sense. Like there are plenty of people like you, Jim, who are so into Star Wars and they're game devs and they get a chance to work on something like that. Like that's got to be like a lifelong dream of theirs, right? To work on Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that's makes a lot of sense that they're getting a lot of interest on that front as well. Kingdom Hearts is coming to PC, right?
Yep. So Kingdom Hearts has been on consoles, I think, pretty well exclusively. I don't know much about Kingdom Hearts, truth be told, but I think it was pretty cool that in March, exclusively on the Epic Game Store, Kingdom Hearts will be coming to PC
For the first time.
which is very cool. So you'll have that entitles Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5
Oh my god, these
plus
names.
2.5 remix, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, Kingdom Hearts 3 plus the Remind DLC, and Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory.
It's the
So
worst.
Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remix. Why are these titles? It will cost $50 USD, and each of the other titles, being the other three, I'm not going to go through all the titles again. So essentially, they're going to be almost full price, which it almost bugs me. Kingdom Hearts 3, I can kind of understand because it's newer.
Also
But why
trash.
why on earth are you putting two games that are, over a decade old now? Why are you putting them at full price? That's the only thing
Well,
that really
they're
made
not
me
full
kind
price.
of irking. Well, 50 USD, so 60 Canadian. It's almost full price.
But it's not.
Oh, don't. You're the Kingdom Hearts fan. Don't
Listen,
do this.
I got a soft spot for the series, okay? But it's not full price on console either. Like, that's the same price it is on console. So I think that makes sense.
Are they remastered?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're
Okay,
like
that
up
helps.
res and all that stuff. Like, they're not like remade or anything, but they're
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're
It's
up
not
res.
1 and
like
2. It's
potatoes.
1.5 and 2.5.
And to be fair,
remix.
you're only getting one game with each thing. Like 1.5, I think comes with. Oh God, okay, I'm gonna have to try to remember this. Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts. What's the? It's the card game on the Game Boy. Chain of Memories.
Not Dream Drop Distance.
Chain of Memories, and it comes with I think Kingdom Hearts 358 over half, whatever the fuck that game is. Days. 2.5 comes with Kingdom Hearts 2, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest games ever made. It's so good. That's not just being a fanboy. Like, that game's awesome. The combat's super deep. But then it also comes with Birth by Sleep, which was a PSP game, and it comes with something else. Yeah, these game names are. I forgot the other game in 2.5, and then 2.8 comes with Dream Drop Distance, which is the 3DS game. And the entire reason it's called Dream Drop Distance is because it's 3Ds and it was on the 3DS.
Oh my god.
That's sick. I like that.
That's
At least they have a
stupid.
reason.
No, don't give him
that's
a
good.
platform. That's
That's
stupid.
good.
It's the only
There's
reason
a
why they
reason.
called
It's
it
not
that.
just words put together like the other ones.
Well, it kind of is, but I mean, at least they had a reason
Yeah.
for this one.
Oh, there's a reason.
And then it comes with a couple other things I forget. And then, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 obviously only came out a couple years ago. And then the Melody of Memories came out very recently. That's like a rhythm game, which is kind of different. And it goes over all the music from the series, which the music from the series is pretty good. But I kind of wish they would just sell one package at this point, which is just the Kingdom Hearts collection. And it just comes with everything. And I think there's something
But it's
close
not
to
full
that.
price, Tony. But it's not.
It's not full price.
But it's not.
They could sell the whole thing together for full price.
Dom in the chat, quotation. But it's not.
But it's not. But it's not full price.
I would love to do an episode on just Kingdom Hearts names, Dom, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, we
I
can
will
do a
put
deep
that
dive into Kingdom
the
Hearts.
priority.
I'm down.
No,
I'm so down.
not coming to.
Look, can I be brutally honest with you, Tony? And
Yeah.
you know, and Tony and Harley and Kevin, everybody. Can we be brutally honest with everybody? They are all on Game Pass.
They are.
I think most of them are on
They
Game
are.
Pass.
Yeah, they're on Game Pass.
I am so tempted just to try it, just to see if what you're saying is true, if these games are really that
Okay,
good.
okay.
I know they're good,
Okay.
but I want to know if they're great.
Okay, listen. All right.
Oh,
First off, you need to come into that with an open mind because they're cheesy as hell. Like they're Disney games, right?
Tony, I like Star Wars. I think I can get down with just
Cheesy
about
as
a lot of cheesy
hell.
stuff.
Also, Kingdom Hearts 1 did not age as gracefully as Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2, in my opinion, still holds up. Kingdom Hearts 1, it's not as deep, so it's kind of a slug. But every other
What about 3? Kevin said 3 was trash.
3 is
Is that
trash.
Three
I
is not
watched my wife
trash.
playing it, and it was trash.
3's not trash. It's just a letdown because we've been waiting for 3 forever, and then it came out, and it's like, oh, okay, that's it. It is really pretty,
Kevin, to answer your question, but it's not.
listen, okay, it's not full price. I'm right. I am correct.
It's almost full price.
Yeah, it is.
You might
almost
as well
full
pay
It's
price.
full price. It's full price when we were kids, and that's enough.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
You're right.
$60. Remember that was AAA title.
Look, I'll spend $100 on a Star Wars toaster, but I will not spend 50 USD on a video game. All right, let's get that out of the water right now.
On a video game from 2002.
Yeah, when the toaster's from
Unless
2020.
Star Wars Battlefront 1.
And no,
Hey,
I never
listen,
bought a
listen.
Star Wars toaster that cost $100. I went gifted to me for Christmas the one year, and I think it was like $20. So I mean, that's better.
Listen,
That's not full price.
Dream Drop
That's
Distance.
not full price.
Okay, came out in 2012 or something like that.
Drop freaking distance.
These game names.
How do you say that without just laughing?
It's hard. It's hard.
Is
man.
there anything to do with that in the game? Okay, real question. In the
I
game,
never
does
beat
Dream
it. I
Drop
don't know.
Distance have anything to do with the game, or is it just because it was 3Ds?
I'm pretty sure it's because it was just 3Ds.
Wow.
But to finish the Kingdom Hearts topic, because this is getting spicy. I like it. I love it. But I think it's also kind of cool to see Kingdom Hearts coming to all the platforms, because traditionally it was just on PlayStation. The first Kingdom Hearts games only came out on PS2, and then Birth by Sleep was on PSP, and then there was a couple Nintendo games on the Game Boy Advance and the DS and stuff. And then eventually it came over to Xbox, which I was very excited about. And now it's coming to PC, so it's great to see these games kind of going everywhere now, and it's just a good thing, because I don't like games being locked to one platform. So it's a good thing to see.
That's one thing I couldn't agree with you on. It's nice when, well, even looking at something like I had it in my mind, but I can't remember now. But just games that kind of get a second life, or they get to be on other Battlefront 2, when it got released for free on PC, that game got like a huge boost. And I don't know how many people play it now still, probably a fair amount. But just the fact that that game got introduced to an audience that might not have paid attention to it on its platform, anything that gets more people playing games, no matter how stupid the titles are, it's just good. So
I'm gonna play through Kingdom Hearts 2 again, so I can reaffirm to myself that game is awesome, because it is.
Did you play Remind, Tony, like the DLC for 3, or no?
No, I actually didn't.
You gotta do that first. You can't play 2 without playing Remind, or Dream Drop Distance, or Melody of Memories.
Okay, listen. All right, maybe I'll play through them all again. You guys are gonna laugh at this. So my hand's been really dry for some reason these last couple weeks, specifically my knuckles, and I was clenching my knuckles so hard during that segment that they're bleeding. They're bleeding. They're actually bleeding right now. I'll have to take a picture and show you.
He's so passionate.
But they cracked. They literally cracked a little bit, so my knuckles were actually bleeding.
Square Enix, sponsor this man.
Oh man.
Mixed Energy, no. Square Enix, yes.
I love Kingdom Hearts, but I love Halo more. And let's move on to Halo. So there's a lot of other Halo news aside from Halo Infinite. This was kind of like a compliment sandwich. I don't know if you guys ever got one of those where, like, maybe at work they're like, "Oh, you did this one thing really great, but you got to work on this."
Oh,
but then
yeah,
you also
yeah,
did
yeah.
this thing really great. Like, they kind of like they
Start
put
good.
start good, then they do something bad, and then they finish it off with something good, and that way you don't feel as bad about the bad news, right? Or whatever,
Exactly.
or the criticism. They kind of did this, which is stupid, but. MCC is getting a custom games browser finally, so that flighting is going to start very soon, as early as next week.
Oh, thank God.
Which is
no, I think I
awesome.
know the bad thing.
Oh yeah, you know the bad thing. So the custom games browser is a big deal, because the Forge community in Halo is still very much active. There's been a guy on Twitter, and I meant to send you guys these videos, where he's been creating the Halo Wars 2 vehicles in Halo Reach's Forge on MCC, and they're like basically
That's
true to
sick.
form. Like, the guy made a Scarab, and it's fully functional. It looks sick. The guy made what am I thinking of? It's the artillery for the Covenant, for the Banished.
Kodiak? Blisterback?
Is that a blisterback?
Yeah, blisterbacks, they fly in and then they
Yeah,
set
yeah,
up.
yeah.
They got
So
the two.
They make
So he
the
made one of those where
greatest
they can
sounds ever.
fly and they land, and then missiles shoot out of the back. It's so cool, and it doesn't look like just like shitty Forge creations. Like, they look like the Halo Wars 2 models. They might even be the Halo Wars 2 models, since it's on PC. So like, they can do crazy mods and stuff. So I'm excited to see what comes with this custom games browser. It's a big deal. I think it's really going to help bring even more people to MCC. And then we'll go to the bad news, unfortunately, and that is that Halo Wars 2 is no longer being updated, and that no sequel is currently in production, and there's no plans for a sequel at the moment. So Halo Wars 2 is a very special game to at least 3 of us on this show. We played a lot. Obviously, Halo Wars 2 is incredibly important to 343 because it introduced the Banished, which are the big villain in Infinite. Like, it was kind of
They're really leaning on it.
They're really leaning on it, because ultimately Halo Wars 2 was really well received, and it was the first 343 game that was actually like generally well received by the community at large. So they're kind of leaning into it, and the basis of Halo moving forward is based off of Halo Wars 2. So it's sad that the game is no longer being updated. It's going to be season 14 or 15 forever. So I guess, guys, we could try to rank up in that.
I got something.
But there's no balance patch being updated, so whatever's broken now is going to remain broken.
Vulture Rush, if people want to
Vulture
know.
Rush, yeah, or doing the elite
just
thing,
max
the base
vultures.
breakers with the elites.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
That thing sucks too. Like, there's a couple things that are just kind of cheese. So that'll just continue to be broken. They're not going to update it. And then they also confirmed that Halo Wars 3, not in the plans, not in production. They didn't say never. They didn't say never. They did actually specify. Now they did say that it's not currently, and they put that in quotes. So, Doesn't mean it will never happen, but it's certainly not happening right now. So even if they decided right now, hey, let's start making Halo Wars 3, we're a couple years out.
Couple years.
Yeah, at least a couple years out. So we shouldn't expect anything Halo Wars for the foreseeable future. So that was really, really disappointing news. That came out of that post.
I think sorry to cut you
no,
off,
all good,
but
man. Yeah, go for it.
I think Halo Wars might have been one of the games that I like really kind of like met you guys and started like really bonding with you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
yeah, the
Yeah, I
first
can
Halo
see
Wars.
I don't think I played Halo 3 would have been high school for us.
Maybe World at
Um,
War.
No, Halo 3 would have been earlier. That's
Halo-
2007.
World at War. But like
Oh,
Halo wise, I think that's what we made like probably played the most. At least I can remember. I remember the one more game
Oh.
Yeah.
and then 2 or 3 hours later,
we got
Thanks,
school the
14.
next day. It's 3 in the morning.
14.
Hey,
Yeah.
we should all get tattoos across our back that say just one more game of Halo Wars.
One more game.
I mean, I'm down.
What sucks is 14 will never be in circulation now.
They should have at least gave us that.
That should have been the last update. Is that 14 is now in circulation? But
That
it's
could be
not.
part of the compliment sandwich right there.
Yeah.
But hey, at least 14's in.
Yeah, that would be something. But I mean, at least the servers aren't being taken down, so we can continue to play it,
That'd
which is
be
something.
ooh.
And I kind of
even
said this
something.
before.
That's
The
a decent community.
yeah, decent community.
Yeah.
It's got a good amount of people who play it. And
That's great.
honestly, we were talking about this beforehand, but it's kind of a miracle and a blessing that Halo Wars 2 was even made in the first place. Like I remember Kevin, we joked about Halo, like how bad we wanted Halo Wars 2, and this must have been 5 or 6 years after the first game came out.
Yeah.
And then that summer, like I think we were at David's cottage or something, and then that summer they announced it, and we were freaking out. Like, I still don't understand how they justified making a sequel to the first Halo Wars. Not that it was bad; it was awesome. We played a ton of it, but it definitely didn't sell like millions upon millions of copies. You know, so it's kind of crazy that a second one even got greenlit and that it was good as it was, and it got a couple expansions too. The 2 expansions for it were great. So,
Brought back the Flood.
yeah, brought back the Flood.
Oh yeah,
It's got that
in a glorious way too.
Terminus firefight mode, which is a lot of fun. The campaign on the second one, particularly Awakening the Nightmare, is awesome.
And the cinematics, even that first trailer that came out, that got me
Yeah.
so hyped,
Yeah,
was
man.
awesome. And it's just like a Spartan getting dragged through a corridor shooting.
That
And
was
he's
the,
all beat up, and it's like, what did that to poor Jerome, point guard?
point guard.
Man,
And
that first cinematic is so good.
it is, and I think that's when they introduced Atriox, right? Doesn't he like smirk at the end of
Yeah.
that trailer, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Run, little
Yeah,
demons."
he's
or
like,
something
run
that?
little humans.
Yeah, man, and like, it's crazy to think that Halo Wars 2 has been so important to Halo as a whole now. So it makes me want to replay through it on Legendary because I still haven't done that. I've only beaten it on Heroic, so maybe I'll do that soon. But that kind of sucked. That was some bitter news to read this week. Last piece of news on Halo, and this is the good part of the compliment sandwich, is that there's a new map coming to Halo 3 after like. So the last map pack for Halo 3 that came out was in 2009 with the Mythic Map Pack 2. Now we're getting a new map to MCC, never before released, to Halo 3, which is, I guess, 11 or 12 years after at this point. So that's kind of crazy. It's a Halo Online map, so it's not like a brand new map. But this Halo Online map was actually never released to Halo Online, so it's actually never been played by anyone.
Ooh.
So it's brand new in that sense, right? So it's kind of cool to see 343 like bringing the Halo Online stuff into MCC because it's new content.
How many
Jim?
Microsoft points will it be?
Yeah, they'll bring back Microsoft points. Oh man.
It'll be
100 or
100.
800?
If it's just a map, it'll be 400.
Well, luckily, all DLC is free now for the most part for Halo. Well, it is,
That's good, man.
but Jim, I know you're a big MCC fan. What do you think about this?
Well, I'm an even bigger Halo 3 fan, so just the fact that I'll be able to play something new in that, engine with. I know it's from that Russian Online one that we never got to play, and I know the cosmetics are kind of a point of contention with some people in terms of how they look. But the map from the screenshot we saw, I mean, the map looks fine from the outside. Like we don't really know anything about it. Like, there's not even a name for it. So I mean, we don't really know anything about it really until we play it. But from the screenshot I saw, and just the idea of being able to play a new Halo 3 map, that's pretty exciting.
It's crazy to think that we're getting a new map after all this time. Like, what other
I mean,
company
there's no
does
map
that?
voting, so we might never get it in matchmaking. But you know,
maybe.
they
I
should
wonder
do
if that's a top requested feature. It should be.
or at least make a playlist of just that new map, because
Yeah,
they did
we'll
it with
probably do a
Nuketown.
playlist.
So
Yeah, I could see them doing that. Yeah, the Halo Online stuff's
Hopefully.
kind of crazy. I remember downloading. Oh, I forget. I think it was El Dorado. That might have been what it was called. Which was like
El
a,
Dorito,
Shell?
yeah.
the Road El Dorado. Yeah, no, it was
Dummy thick.
Dummy thick. But this
Big.
was
That's a big download.
big download. the icon to play that game is just her. It's just her butt. But that was a custom kind of server that fans made of Halo Online. Because Halo Online was eventually taken down. It was Russian only, all that stuff. But it was an official Halo game. Like 343 made it, along with Saber Interactive. So I remember playing a bit of that before that got taken down, and there were some brand new maps on that that aren't on MCC. So I could see even more maps coming at some point, which is just cool, man. It's cool to see Halo 3 getting maps after all this time. That is dope. And that's the compliment sandwich for the Halo blog post there. Unfortunately, the Halo Wars 2 news kind of overshadows everything here for me, personally.
Same.
Yeah,
It's a
sucks.
bit bitter.
Very bitter.
I'm not surprised though. I mean, I could see them wanting to put all their kind of energy into
I-
one or two
that makes-
things, because they have Infinite and they also have the show kind of going on in the background too. Different teams, granted, but
Oh yeah, no one
I
at
can see them wanting to
343 is
focus
working
on
on
more
the
of
show,
those.
man. Like the only people
I
at
see.
343 working on the show is like I think it's Bonnie Ross or it's Kiki Wolfkill, one of those two
Oh, yeah.
people.
Top
But
tippy lady that no one likes.
yeah, but she's kind of like their, I think it's director of transmedia or something. So that just means like comics, books, TV shows, like that kind of stuff. She's working on it, but it's not like game devs are working on the show. But I mean, you're right. Like they did state exactly why this is happening for Halo Wars, and that was that because they have people working on MCC and Halo Infinite. That's the priority. They can't have people working on other stuff because MCC continues to thrive and continues to grow. They need help with that. And Halo Infinite is obviously the top priority for not even just 343, it's the top priority for Xbox at this point. So all hands on deck. Makes sense. Still a tough pill to swallow. Jim, let's move on to you. CD Projekt Red. A lot of shit went down this week. It wouldn't be a week of Follow My Tracers without Cyberpunk 2077. So let's get into it.
Yeah. So, yeah, a bit of stuff happened with them this week. So within the course of, I think it might have been Sunday or Monday, it had broke that CD Projekt Red's source code, or the files that kind of make up Cyberpunk, multiple versions of The Witcher 3, and another game I can't quite remember the name of. If I can find it in the article, I'll state it. But, and Gwent were all kind of stolen and held for ransom, or Gwent, whatever it is. But so essentially, the original ransom note had said you have 2 days to address this, or it's going to go for sale, essentially. So what happened reportedly was it did go on sale in a dark web auction, and reportedly it had sold for $7 million to
Wow.
one lucky winner. And just looking at this article via IGN, the person who had held the auction, funny, the person's name on the auction site is Red Engine. Reportedly, everything sold outside the auction. So this is all reportedly. Also, I'm saying reportedly a lot because there's nothing confirmed. This is all just based on a lot of screenshots and a lot of digging. But apparently everything was sold in one package, so you couldn't buy the source code for just one thing. You had to buy all of it. So CD Projekt, I guess, decided to do nothing about it, and then maybe not too concerned. But the weird thing I found, and I have to find it in the article here, reportedly part of the agreement for buying this source code was that they couldn't. I'll have to find it here, but apparently they can't use it for anything essentially. So like they can't repurpose it, and they can't like resell it. They just kind of own it from what I'm gathering here, which is kind of weird. But regardless, if I might be wrong in that because this article is really long and I should have taken notes on it. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy that this was essentially held for ransom. I don't know. I can't think of too many other games where this happens successfully on that end, because you hear of other companies. None come to mind, granted, but I seem to recall within the last few years something like this has happened before, whether it's just sensitive information or it's entire codes of data. But then the company usually kind of resolves it. But this is kind of the first time I can remember in a while where it really wasn't resolved. And essentially, in the words of, if I was a politician, the terrorists won. So that's kind of weird.
It's scary that, like, it's just kind of scary that apparently in this data leak that they also had the entire like HR info for CD Projekt Red leak, which means the personal information of employees.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's not cool. So CD
Yeah,
Projekt Red
it'll
came
have their
out.
payroll stuff.
Yeah, like there's a ton of sensitive info in there. So CD Projekt Red came out and they said, no, our employees are safe. Don't worry. Like we verified, like it's all good. But like, do you really know that it's all good? Like as an employee working there now, I'd be kind of scared that somebody knows everything about me now. They know how much I make. They know where I live. They know, you know, my, I don't know what they call it in Poland, but my social insurance number, you know, like whatever they have there. Like
You're essentially like totally compromised, which sucks. And I want to make a correction. So I found what I was trying to talk about. So in this paragraph, it says that a satisfying offer was made from outside of the forum, and it was being held on. That offer reportedly stipulates that the code will not be distributed or sold further. So whoever owns this right now can't resale it. So I guess they could use it for whatever they want, but they can't put this up for auction again. This person like officially has to own it, and it's theirs.
So like, how does that make any sense though? Because as soon as you buy something, you can do whatever you want with it.
That's what
Yeah,
I
and
mean.
it's on the dark web.
This whole thing
Yeah,
seems
it's not
kind
like
of
a patent.
suspicious.
So, like they're not like taking their patent or anything like that, or their copyright. They're
So
just
that makes it even scarier in that sense, because like, yeah, like you can say, oh, you know, I'm gonna buy this game and I'm not gonna resell. But how many times have you been to a used game store and seen that Xbox Live Arcade thing that came with the Xbox 360? On the cover, it says not for resale. But I can't tell you how many times I saw that thing in game stores. So
I mean, this is a little different than that. This is
no, I know.
is,
I'm just saying though, like they can do whatever they want now, which is really super scary. And the word "satisfying offer" that came from the seller, that's super like Bond villain twiddling the fingers. Like it's scary, man. So like, I bought the game. Is my data on there? Like, am I going to be listed on there as like somebody who bought it? Like, do they have that info? I don't know.
I don't think CD Projekt Red has the purchaser information. It's the staff information. That's the real concern, right? So
it's super shitty though. Like, to put it bluntly, it sucks.
And it sucks that the person who did this basically, like, I don't know if you read their like ransom note to them or whatever. It was like they basically just called out CD Projekt Red for being a shitty company, and they're like, oh yeah, your reputation's down the toilet. Like, clearly they were just some mad fucking fanboy that was upset because Cyberpunk was kind of broken, and they decided to use whatever weird hacking skills and leaking skills they had to obtain this. Like first of all, grow up, bud. Like, do you know what you're doing? But I don't know. Like,
go play Deus Ex. I've been saying it for 13 episodes. Go play Deus Ex instead.
No, it's not about that. It's just that, like, I'm sure that CD Projekt Red's going to pursue legal action here and try to find out who this guy is and get him locked up and all of that. But if the data's out there now and somebody has it, I don't know. It's shitty. So I really hope that whoever purchased this doesn't have any ill intent, and that they don't, like, yeah, they don't start doing shit with like personal information. You know what? If you want to leak like CD Projekt Red, like, I don't know, like however much the CEO makes, or if you want to leak like some shitty company practices, go for it. I'm all for that. But like, don't be like, oh yeah, this Joe Schmo who works in graphic design, he lives at this address. Like, no, let's not do any of that.
Here's his bank account number.
Yeah,
that's not like you don't want to get DDoS. Essentially, that's not good.
Well, yeah, like imagine these employees right now. They just went through a pretty traumatic launch where they knew the game wasn't ready. That's been reported on. They knew it wasn't ready, but they were forced to put it out. Now it's out. Everyone hates them. They're frantically trying to patch the shit out of it, and now they have this guy who took their information. Apparently, like, the morale down there has to be at an
It's just
all-time
compounding
low.
shit on shit.
Exactly, man. Like if I was like if you're a game developer there, like leave. Like, why would you stay at this point? You know, like unless there's some
This might
really good
implode on them.
compensation. Like maybe I think there was a story that everyone got their bonuses despite what happened, which is
But
good.
yeah, I bet they
Yeah.
sold millions.
Yeah, they did sell. Yeah, what was it? 13 million copies in a day or something like that. It was the biggest launch of all time, or digital launch of all time. So
It was 8 million in the first day, but I think it's 13 million total right now. Something like that. But
yeah,
you
something
know,
like
this
that,
same
yeah.
kind of thing happened in the movie industry back. Oh my God, I was still a custodian. So this had to be 5, 6 years ago. Sony Pictures had a lot of information and emails leaked, and this led to films and TV shows getting altered or changed or canceled. So just think about this massive info leak essentially that somebody bought. Um, CD Projekt might implode at this point. They might lose, like their CEO might get fired. Their game devs might leave. Like a lot of this could have a lot of like long lasting effects on what was once a loved company, which sucks. Like it really sucks because I believe that maybe there's some good to still come with Cyberpunk like down the line, but this might change everything. We don't know. So
Yeah, the ripple
that's
effect
my
from
thought anyway.
Cyberpunk will continue to be felt for I think a long time.
And this is just like another kind of like big notch in the armor because this shows that like something's wrong with the company's internal security too. So
Totally. How did
I
this
don't
guy
know
get it?
if
How did this guy get this?
if I was a game dev, I'd be gone by now. Like if I worked for the company in general and I knew that my info might be compromised, I'm gone. Like see you later. Like there's other companies, there's a whole world out there, not just in here.
Yeah,
So
it's also a pandemic. We can't forget that too. Maybe job
Yeah,
security is
dog,
more
it's
important.
tough.
Mhm.
Maybe just
It's tough.
which makes this even scarier for people working there, if you ask me. But hopefully nothing bad comes of this. Maybe someone just wanted the clout of owning the source code and saying, I can fix this. I can get people to fix this. I'm going to release this for free. I'm going to release these
Oh,
multiple versions of Witcher 3 for free. I'm going to release Cyberpunk for free. Like there's a bunch of stuff that could happen too, but hopefully nothing happens. And hopefully it's not going to be the end of it, but hopefully this is kind of the major end of that news.
yeah, we'll see, man. Scary stuff.
I don't know.
Getting off of that though, and let's jump on to Warzone, which is the gameplay you're seeing right now. You're seeing some shitty Warzone gameplay of the boys, everyone on this podcast right now. And we were playing pretty poorly until we turned off the recording, and then we started playing better. I know that anyone can say that, but I'm being honest. We started playing better after we stopped recording. Anyways, there's been a lot of
what we should
Warzone
have done
news.
is warmed up before.
Yeah, you're right.
And
We should have recorded after playing a couple games, not start off by recording.
You wouldn't believe this, but I'm the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan out of the four of us off the recording. So,
But it's not.
But it's not.
But it's not.
but it's not.
I've
Hey,
got-
that's our first merch design.
but it's
Yeah,
not.
there you go.
But it's not.
Dot, but it's not. Yeah, I can get behind that. Anyways, Warzone.
Make it.
Lots of news about a potential new map. What's happening next month? With Warzone's 1 year anniversary about to roll up. Harley, I know you got a bunch of news on that or rumors, right?
I've got some rumors for the possible next season. Possibly the like the theme. So people are playing there's two other modes than the normal battle royale, and that's Resurgence, which takes place on Rebirth Island. And over there in a certain building, their screen is getting distorted with static, and they're starting to hear they hear some Russian voices, and someone actually translated them, and it says dispatch. This is Russian ship Voidnya Void Voidnoy.
Nihoi
I was
Minoi.
just about to say
Sure.
that.
Voidnoy. Channel 1-2 over. This is dispatch requesting shipment permit to Verdansk. Over. Dispatch cargo secured. All systems are fine. Get ready to go over. And actually, you can, if you scope into the mist and the water, you can actually see the ship.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's cool.
people are well. It's known that on this island, the Nova 6 gas is being produced there, which is the gas from the BR, which equates to like the zone. But people are thinking that maybe this gas is being used to create zombies, possibly for the future season, and they're kind of like that's how they're tying it in. Cause when you play Rumble, which is the 50-50 like team deathmatch, if you go into the hospital, you actually see a zombies trial machine from the zombies mode in Cold War. So you got the Nova gas, you got the trial thing, um, and some people have even connected the cutscene that we saw in the beginning with Adler and Stitch. He says, "I'll see you in hell." So people are
Ah,
yes, so people are thinking that the next season is going to be zombies based, and we might we might get like zombies in the BR. They did they did the Halloween event, but I wonder, yeah, I kind of wonder what this is gonna equate to. And yeah, there's rumors and leaks of a new map coming out, so I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, and they did zombies in Blackout, if you guys remember. The top of the map there had
And I
the
really like
asylum
zombies in
with
Blackout.
zombies, right? And that actually
Pretty
worked
good.
out pretty well.
And
'Cause-
and the graveyard too.
Yeah,
The
the
graveyard was
graveyard.
cool.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the graveyard had zombies there all the time.
So that was
Yeah.
always fun in there. I liked Blackout a lot. We had some fun. So
Yeah.
that'd be pretty cool.
I like the map better than just because at this point we've been playing Verdansk for so long. Like, there's not a whole lot of like color variety. That's my big thing. Is there's not like a whole lot of like variety to like tones. It's just
Yeah.
like buildings and
brown.
grasslands, and then more buildings, and then the dam. Don't get me wrong. And then the dam's cool, and then the tower and the airport's cool. But again, it's just all kind of the same color wise. Whereas with Blackout, I kind of liked how each kind of spot on the map kind of had its own thing. It wasn't super colorful, but it kind of had its own thing going on, which I kind of like. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think we're all
it was
hoping for
more
our new map.
arcadey too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blackout was definitely, like Kevin said, more arcadey, whereas Verdansk is trying to be realistic.
that's one thing I appreciate about Fortnite. I know not everyone in this party, namely one person, doesn't like care for Fortnite, but the one thing I really
Wow.
respect about the map, it's Tony. It's Tony. Don't get me wrong.
He hates
No,
But it's not.
it's
It's
Tony.
not.
But it's not. but the one thing I can get behind with that map is that like almost every like major name location kind of had its own personality and it kind of has its own thing going on. And that's one thing I think, like, if I wasn't looking at the map and I didn't really know COD that well, I would think Promenade East is the same kind of vibe as like the outskirts of downtown, as kind of in and around Stadium. Like, it all kind of blends together. I mean, we've been playing it for so long. I know where everything is now, but like farmland and lumber, I didn't know the difference for the longest time because I'm stupid. But my point being is, I think it's time for a new map. It'll be a year of the same map. Like, there's additions. Like, the train was kind of cool. I don't really ride the train too often. What other additions have come to Verdansk since launch that are like really notable?
They
Do we know?
opened the
Do we
stadium,
remember?
which was big.
Stadium
Bunkers.
Oh yeah, I do. I
Bunker.
like that a lot too. I like being in stadium.
Yeah, bunkers.
I guess the
Yeah,
train
going
in
in stadium.
general.
The bunkers, yeah, the train.
But
The-
there's no
the
like
train
major
on
map
the side,
changes
the
though.
train and the subway.
I hope
As
they make
in,
a night version.
yeah. Oh, like a
That
night
would
vision
be.
mode?
Oh, I wish they would have
That'd
had
be
that.
nuts.
That'd be crazy.
Lasers just everywhere.
You know what they should do? If they do make a new map, keep Verdansk, but make it just nighttime.
Well, they
well-
did that in when they had the Halloween event.
I didn't think they did that. It wasn't dark though.
No, it wasn't pitch black.
Yeah, I wanted.
But have it.
dark.
But
Yeah, like
have
no
a map
moonlight.
like that. That'd
no
be
moonlight.
awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah, you'd
everyone's
be
got
interested.
like
night vision.
night vision goggles and
And
thermals
just that
actually
green,
become
that
good again.
constant green,
Yeah,
Jim,
my
that-
eyes would be bleeding.
that'd totally just annihilate your point. Of all
Because it's really
different-
cool in the multiplayer maps when they did that. They had those nighttime modes for a bit. So like, I think that would translate really well. But yeah, I feel like I'm just blabbing now, so I'm gonna stop talking. Because it's not. But it's not.
Right. But it's
That
not.
didn't even fit in the sentence. That was poor.
but it's
Yeah,
not.
you know.
Okay. I think
So
I think we
versatile.
all.
You can just say it for everything.
Yeah.
We
It's
are
not.
live, people. We are live.
Yeah,
There
we
is
are
no
live.
correction.
My knuckles are bleeding. We are live. Oh man.
Tony
I
got so
am out
worked
of
up about
breath.
Sora, he started bleeding.
Sora. Kingdom Hearts is good. Anyways, what if there was Kingdom Hearts in Warzone? Anyways, I think
Unrelated, I want Gundam games on
Hey,
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Let's get a mod on
Ooh.
ODST where it's BR in New Mombasa streets. I would love that. Let's
Ooh.
just get something. Let's
Yeah.
get a new map in Warzone, more importantly, because
I'm pretty done with Verdansk. I don't know. It's cool, but like let's blow it up. We know there's a nuke there. There's been a nuke there for a while. Let's nuke it. You know?
like I said, mad respect to Fortnite for just changing the map up. You know, even though it's the same core map, like there's new locations all the time and new variants on places, and like why can't Verdansk have like a winter like as soon as it hits October, November, why not make it a snow map? As soon as it hits the summertime, why not make it super green and super colorful? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But oh well.
I remember way
Animal
back
Crossing.
when there was a rumor of it being in, was it Uzbekistan or something? Where
Yeah, that was in one of the cutscenes, wasn't it?
yeah, and like it was the idea was some Verdansk was gonna get nuked, and then the new map would be in Uzbekistan, and it's kind of a desert. Instead of the zone being gas, it was gonna be a sandstorm that came in, that just choked you out eventually. Which would
That
be
would have been awesome.
which would be cool. Like that would
I
totally
think
work.
It might still
rumor
happen.
is it's going to be in the mountains.
Mountains.
Yeah.
I just want them to go like, just go crazy and like let's get it in like somewhere tropical. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That would be something.
That would be good. I just want more color, man. I'm tired of looking at gray and brown. You know. That's all.
I don't mind. I find it more realistic.
Oh, it's
I
totally
think
more
that's
realistic.
just kind of that's more like preference, I guess, of art style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you more like cartoon or arcadey, Fortnite would probably be your best bet because like it can go
Yeah.
from sand to forest to snow. Like it doesn't make any sense, and it's all in one island. Like
Yeah. One island has every single like
there's
kind
no
of
there's it's just like
ecosystem.
boom, that's there now. Like there's no rhyme or reason. It's just there now. But I feel like yeah, it's just preference.
I mean, I'm harping on Warzone, but the reality is, once we're done this podcast, we're probably all gonna play it. So
Yeah, essentially.
they got me,
Yeah,
but
like a love hate.
yeah, it's a love hate for sure. But I think if they lean a little bit more into like what Blackout looked like, I think that could be cool. Just a bit more color here and there. Doesn't need to be crazy.
Yeah, because
I
Blackout
think-
wasn't like super cartoony, but it had enough color where it was noticeable. Like when I went back and played it, oh my god, was that in the summertime? I downloaded it for a day and played it. Like immediately, it's like, oh my god, the grass is like super green. Like it's not like a little bit more like olive and washed out. It's like actually like green and all that, and
The ocean's like
the water's
actually,
like really blue, and it's like, oh my god.
instead of like a murky kind of color. I get
I
it. It's a
know-
different style, but
Jim, we've played Dirty Bomb, and you remember the forest map?
That would be awesome if they got anything from
that-
Dirty Bomb into it.
That's where it's rumored to be taking place.
I'd be down with that. Dirty Bomb is it's like such an awesome mode in COD because it's what Warzone would be if they would have carried over the Blackout engine or the Black Ops Cold War engine into Warzone. And I don't know. I mean, it's I'm losing my point. I'm gonna shut up.
I
I
think
feel
we're
like
gonna.
I feel like my point's just being like, let's just get a new map. I just want something new.
Yeah, man.
That's my point. What were you gonna say, Harley?
I think we're getting a new color. I think we're gonna get a color map. I think it's gonna because what they did for Warzone is that they stitched together ground war maps for multiplayer.
yep.
So I believe they're going to be doing that with Cold War. And like I said, Jim, we played. It's called Ruka, I believe the map is called, and it's got some like deep greens and browns. I believe that's where it's going to be taking place. At least that's where the rumors are leading. So I think we're going to be seeing some color for you guys. But we'll see.
We'll see in about a month. Warzone came out almost a month to this day, I think. Pretty close.
I hope it's at the end of the season because I think that's in like 10, 11 days.
Yeah, it's
I
close.
think.
I gotta finish the battle pass. I'm almost done. I'm in the 80s right now.
Saying they usually tease stuff like a week or two prior to the new, like anything new, like when they get like the screen glitches or like what you were saying earlier with all the stuff they were showing or people have been finding. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. I mean, and the best part about it is it's free, so it's not like we're.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't
not
like $80 to play Warzone, so I think I'd be more mad if I paid $80 and it was the same thing for a year. But
Yeah, it's free. Can't complain. And
There you go.
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. Cool. I think that's all we got to say on the topic. Anything else, boys? We all good? I think we're good.
I'm good.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's all the news we got. Yeah. I guess let's hit up the. We don't have a big question this week, but if you guys have any comments, definitely leave them in the comment section below.
I have a
chat.
question.
Okay, go. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did the guy from Blue's Clues go crazy? Was he seeing blue?
Steve?
Yeah.
Did he kill himself?
I don't think he killed himself.
No.
I thought he killed himself.
He's on Cameo.
Oh, is
my
he?
question.
He can't be
The hell
dead. He's on
Cameo?
Cameo.
Oh.
Steve from Blue's Clues.
Cameo is that service where you can pay whatever amount they set, and they can give you like they go like, oh, like I say it's your mom's birthday and she loves Lionel Richie. You could pay Lionel Richie so much, and he can send like a birthday message of like him filming himself or somebody filming on like a cell phone video, and then they send you the video to show them. It'd be like, hey, I'm Lionel Richie. Your son Kevin said this, blah blah blah, like stuff like that.
Oh. Okay.
Like
It's a big money
celebrity
maker now at
shoutouts,
this
kind of.
pandemic. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
But in like in video form. You could do chatting ones too, but I think everyone just goes for the video.
One of the cool ones I saw was that you can get Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, to send you something. So like you can get Master Chief to like say something for you, which is sweet. But yeah.
You got the bomb.
Got the Chief never said that, but yeah, I mean, whoever the
I just want him to say,
I
don't
I
like
think
it.
that guy is also on Cameo, the Halo announcer guy. Pretty sure he is
Announcer
too.
guy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that guy's legendary, man.
Might as well make that voice work for you.
Yep, exactly. Cool. Dom in chat says, I can't believe there's a story behind a battle royale. Yeah, I mean, Fortnite has a loose story too that you can follow if you're interested, but I mean, you could also just not follow it and get along just fine. It's not like it's
You'd be
like
fine.
a required reading or anything. It's it's there if you want it, but you don't need it.
Just like Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
What,
Sorry.
that you eat it?
No,
I
Django.
need Attack of the Clones. Okay.
Okay, I just very quick off the cuff. Rewatched
Oh.
the prequels recently. I do love those movies. Everything is essential, which sucks and is good. So that's my piece.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Best non-answer I could give.
All right.
Be a politician.
Could be politician.
Hey, but it's not.
Okay. All right. With that, let's end it there.
Everything. How would you help with green initiatives in our area? But it's not.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Wah wah.
Womp womp.
How dare you?
How dare
How
you?
absolutely dare you?
Should we work
Oh,
on
I
getting some
love that
merch
video.
up for Follow My Tracers or what? Jeez.
Hey, we should get that shirt made though. Really,
But it's not.
I'd buy one. I'd buy one right now.
Oh, I'd get a hoodie.
But it's not.
Oh,
Hoodie.
I'll get the coffee mug.
Get it
Okay.
up the sleeves.
All right. Yeah,
Up the sleeves.
Yeah, you can put it on the sleeves. Yeah.
Yeah, you have it everywhere, dude.
Yeah,
All right.
But it's not.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Or you could have the dots going up the sleeve.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why dot?
It's
the
like-
ellipses.
Because it's like a dot.
Oh.
But it's not.
I thought you were going for like a tracers thing.
You have to
Yeah,
follow it.
sure. Even a good idea. Even better.
Okay.
But it's not.
I'm
I
down.
think we've lost the plot.
Yeah, I kind
hey,
of ruined
hey,
it with
and
the
it's
whole...
episode 13. Of course, if we're gonna lose the plot, it's got to be on this episode.
Big time.
Unlucky.
But it's not. Okay.
Oh,
Harley,
you beat me to it.
socials. Let's take us home, please.
Oh, okay. Hey there, viewers. Did you like that?
Did you like that? It's
Did
so
you like that?
aggressive. Did you like that?
Like?
That's another piece of merch right there.
Well, if you did, subscribe and like. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook being Follow My Tracers, and Twitter at FMT Show. Tony, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on twitch.tv/figure09 and on Twitter at figure9tv.
Awesome. How about you, Jim?
If you search Power Grudge on an Xbox, you can follow me there. You can also follow me on Steam, GOG Galaxy, and the Epic Games Store.
Sweet. And Kevin?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't worry about it. I got an Xbox gamer tag, the same name.
Say hi to Supperfish in the chat when he's there.
Yeah.
Supperfish. Or one of his 30 Twitch logins, whatever one he figures out that day.
Yeah, that's fair
Was
too.
it Tired guy?
Dead guy the tired.
Guy? You've done Tired Guy? No
No.
way.
Dead guy the tired, and then I got
Yep.
I'm sick of making new accounts, and then I have Falling Cactus, but I haven't logged into that in probably over a year, and I keep getting weird emails about it, so it's probably been hacked.
At least you haven't got Microsoft Mark. It's still up for the taking.
When in doubt.
Or Smooth Brown Nut, or I have Mud Ahead.
That merch.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure you have the Mythic
Sorry.
United one somewhere too, Kevin. But,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that autofills. I don't know how to get into it.
All right. And with that, everyone, thanks for listening to that mess. Hope you liked it. I guess we got to make some merch now, so we'll figure that out. And we will see everyone next week for another episode of Follow My Tracers. Everyone, have a good weekend. See you next week. Bye.
I love
Bye. Whoa.
Whoa.
Bye.
I love you too.